I was asking a question there. So I will call to order the Wednesday, May 22nd, 2024 City of Battle Creek Planning Commission meeting. Can we get attendance, please?
Commissioner Hughes,
Here.
Commissioner O'Donnell,
He called me, and his boss from his daytime job surprised him at a meeting. So he has to stay with his boss.
thank you.
I would excuse it if you could.
Yes. Commissioner Godfrey,
Yes.
Commissioner Gray,
Here.
Commissioner Morse,
Yes.
Commissioner Dennison,
Here.
Commissioner Moten,
Here.
Commissioner White is absent, Mayor Benke.
Here.
All right. We'll move on to approval of minutes for the April 24th, 2024 meeting. Are there any questions or comments on the minutes?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that the minutes be approved as presented.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, nay. Minutes are approved. Any correspondence?
No correspondence,
Okay, any additions or deletions to the agenda?
no additions, no deletions.
Okay, in our agenda, there are no public hearings or deliberations, is that correct?
Correct.
All right, we'll move on to old business. First up on A is the zoning map amendment number R1-24. Again, this was a petition from the city of Battle Creek to rezone properties along East Michigan Avenue between Kane Street and Stiles Street, currently zoned R3 multiple family residential district and R1B single family residential district to T3 neighborhood commercial district pursuant to sections 1281.01 and 1240.13 of the zoning code. I would be looking first for a motion to resume consideration, and please specify the old business item.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we revisit the amendment R1-24.
Okay, there's a motion to reconsider the zoning map amendment R1-24. Is there a second?
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Is there any questions on resuming consideration of this item? Seeing none, we will vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay, for opposed? All right, we will reconsider now the zoning map amendment number R1-24. Is there any update or presentation from the city staff?
The only updates that we have is just that obviously this item is being brought back before this body because there was a date set for this when this meeting was originally held in February. The commission asked that it be brought back during the month of May after convening a neighborhood planning meeting to further discuss the item. Staff held that meeting, gathered that feedback, and included that feedback in your staff report that you see today. Generally speaking, the folks who participated in that meeting were hesitant about rezoning this area. Staff's initial analysis has really not changed on this item. However, in light of the concerns that the residents in that area have raised, at this time, staff is recommending that this item be denied. However, we will continue to explore this during the master plan process that'll be coming up here. We'll be getting involved in that here over probably the next year and a half, 2 years or so, and we'll continue to have these discussions with the neighborhood. If ultimately the neighborhood chooses that they're more comfortable with the current zoning at that point, then we'll simply incorporate that into the future land use plan. That'll be a part of the next master plan update. So we will continue to explore this topic through the master plan process.
Perfect, thank you, Travis. Are there any questions or any discussion for city staff on that update from the commissioners? Commissioner Godfrey?
I was very pleased to see that the city staff had reached out to the NPC as requested and conducted a meeting with them, getting their opinion of the overall activity in the neighborhood. I do really appreciate that effort on the city's part.
Okay, any further questions or discussion? All right, seeing none, I would be looking for a motion to approve the initial petition. That way we can begin discussion.
Support.
No,
We need a motion.
you need a motion.
Oh, I was going to have you do the hard work.
Can't make the motion.
I'll ask the city attorney to make sure we do it right.
Yeah.
I would recommend making the motion in the form of, I move to approve zoning map amendment R1-24.
And then we'll vote it down, right?
I don't know what you will do,
Sorry, I think it's our intention to vote it down.
Yeah.
so. But yeah, that would be the form of the motion and then a second. And then you'd have that discussion.
Second.
The initial motion needs to be made.
So, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that, for approval of R1-24.
Okay, there's been a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Support.
Thank you, Commissioner. So there's been a motion to approve the petition for zoning map amendment R1-24, and it has been supported. I will open the floor for any questions or comments on this. Any by commissioners? Seeing none, let's move on to the vote. Can we get a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Gray,
No.
Commissioner Moten,
No.
Commissioner Hughes,
No.
Commissioner Morris,
No.
Commissioner Godfrey,
No.
Commissioner Dennison,
No.
Mayor Banky.
No.
All right. That is complete. We will move on to old business item B, please.
Thank you. I think I had mentioned at a previous meeting, we want to start to hand out some training information when we have an opportunity at a slower meeting so that we can start adding to your binder. We're going to start out with the Open Meetings Act. In your packet, we have the entire Open Meetings Act with the kind of the cheat sheet portion from the Attorney General. It's a really nice document. A lot of it is more than what you need to know as a planning commissioner. However, it's good to have it in your binder to refer to. We did put together a little two-sided sheet that talks about how the Planning Commission is impacted by the Open Meetings Act. A lot of it is what the staff does behind the scenes, but some of it refers to the discussions in the meeting. One of the things that I put in there is the public notices, the various days before the meeting that this has to be posted. These postings referring to the public meetings are different than some of you that are aware when we have a public hearing on a special use permit or a public hearing on a rezoning. Those are noticed separately, and those have to be noticed per the Zoning Enabling Act, the Michigan Zoning Enabling Act, at least 15 days prior to the meeting. And those are noticed in the paper and email or mailed to every resident within 300 feet. So this is not to be confused with that. This is just referring to a meeting is going to be held. This is where it's going to be held. This is the time it's going to be held. And this is the particular commission that will be meeting. Those have to be posted within 10 days of the meeting. Those are usually posted online and at the entrance of the building off the main parking lot. If there is a meeting rescheduled, like recently occurred for one of our city commission meetings because of the weather, you have to have at least 18 hours before the meeting, have it posted, and you have to reschedule that meeting at least 3 days after the canceled meeting. So those are things that are important if we ever do, just so you understand the timeliness of having to reschedule and get everyone's schedules together to make sure it works. Then we have the decisions and discussions. I think all of you are aware that any discussion having to do with your consideration of anything that is on an action making recommendation to the city commission has to be done in an open meeting. Emails, anything like that, you can email staff and ask a question, like maybe something is not in the packet or you want additional information. That email can be then distributed, copied to all of the planning commissioners with the response, and then that email would be included in the packet and attached to the packet, so everybody would have that information. But for the discussion to go back and forth about how you feel action should occur on that particular application has to be done in an open meeting. A quorum of the Planning Commission can attend any type of meetings, such as a training meeting and whatnot, to get training on different topics that you deal with throughout your service. But you cannot meet outside of this meeting in an open meeting with a quorum to discuss how any of these items should be considered. Those are kind of the main things. The use of email, again, I know early on with the use of laptops and whatnot in meetings, there was a lot of concern with board and commission members in other communities emailing their thoughts back and forth, and that obviously is not something that is allowed, and most communities have situations where you don't have that opportunity, you don't have the laptops in front of you. Recording and broadcasting any meetings, anyone can come in and record the entire meeting on their phone, and it can be broadcasted. We do have videotapes of our meetings, or audio tapes of our meetings, all of our meetings in the city. So those can be written minutes. It's important to know that minutes basically have to have information like time and date, who is attending the meeting, who is absent, what actions were taken at the meeting. They do not have to have verbatim discussion of the Planning Commission. So a lot of communities will have a little more, but most of them just have the basics, and that's all that's required. Physical attendance, there's really very little accommodation outside of military where you could attend a meeting remotely for the purpose of taking action on an item. So I don't know if anyone had any questions on anything that was in the Open Meeting Act, or if Marcel or myself can answer anything that you may have a question on.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Are there any questions from the commissioners on this?
Are there any criteria that we can go into closed-door session?
Like you can, the only thing, if you have a legal issue, and then you can have a closed session to meet with the attorney on things such as lawsuits or anything that would be not appropriate to have in the public. But typically, the Planning Commission would not have meetings like that. That is obviously a city commission that would be allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect. Any further questions? Any comments? Okay, thank you for providing that as information and also giving us kind of a little narrative there. I think that concludes our old business, correct? All right, any new business?
No new business.
Okay, any comments by the public? Ted, nothing? All right. Comments by staff and any commissioner members? Yes.
Thank you. I did just want to note for the record, went kind of fast with the minutes, I was trying to say it, but I did call in for the last meeting, I did let staff know that I could not be here. So I just wanted to note it for the record that it was excused. I had a work obligation as well, and I couldn't do both.
Perfect. Thank you for your comment.
Sure.
And I do believe I mentioned that you were excused too. I think
Excellent, thank you.
Okay, any further comments? Seeing none, I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, staff.